Shar Watson.
Dominate. 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 I'm talking domination.
Yo, this is the Prodigal Son podcast, and we are officially on episode 2. In my Espanol voice, 20. I'm the host, Vincent Warren. We are found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and of course, YouTube. And today we got a special guest with me, Cuz Chelsea.
Hello.
Full name Chelsea. I call her Chelsea. You feel me?
Yep, only you call me Joe. No,
Okay. So this is my Chelsea. What you second cousin?
Second cousin. We share a great grandparent.
Great grandparent. Mm-hmm. But I gotta let everybody know you are a Buckeye.
Yes.
She's a Buckeye. Oh. You feel me? But I always get flowers besides you being a Buckeye. Chelsea, you know I love you. You feel me?
I love you.
Big family.
Yes.
You came here to my backyard, Michigan.
Yeah,
you feel me?
We
accept you of our own. You know, I appreciate you showing up for me.
Of course.
You know, and on time.
Listen, I'm always on time. You know what Shantae say? Okay. I'm so corny, B.
You are good.
You're going to have to
good.
hear the dumb jokes all this whole interview.
You are great. I appreciate you coming out.
Of course.
Love you. We thick as thieves. We always gonna be family, and
absolutely,
we gonna lock in.
Absolutely, of course. Listen, I might live in Michigan now, but I'm glad you opened up with that. I am a Buckeye. I just want to clear the air. Okay.
Every time I see you, I see red, and gray and white. I'm like,
that's perfect. Yes, I love it. I love it.
So, this year, y'all got a $20 million team, so I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know anything about football. I literally just like to tease y'all. Like, I love Buckeyes, don't get twisted, but I just love to tease my Michigan family. I love to tease my dad because he's a Wolverine, even though he's not even from Michigan.
What? I didn't know that.
Listen, this man loves him some Wolverines, and I don't know why.
So he don't like the Buckeyes neither?
No, but yeah.
Cuz, you feel me? Come holler at me. Listen. I got a spot for you on the couch.
He would love it. No,
okay.
No, he's definitely a Wolverine. But no, I love to teach y'all. I'm not big on football, but I'll be wearing when that time comes when we play y'all. Scarlet and gray all day.
Do you watch the game?
So let me be honest. I watched that game in particular.
Okay.
But like all the other games, I just look at my phone. Like, did they win? Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Did y'all lose? Okay, cool.
Okay. Because I know Cuz she be calling all the time, Drea.
Yeah. Oh,
talking trash.
Listen, don't watch a game with her. Don't play a game with her. Don't watch a game. Just don't do it. Love you,
Okay. All right, so let's get started from the beginning. So, Chelsea, for you, how was like growing up for you in your house?
Yeah, so I am the youngest of 4. So my siblings are a lot older than me. So my oldest brother is 10 years older than me. My sister is 9 years older than me, and then my other brother is 6 years older than me. So I low-key grew up kind of like an only child, and they were kind of like clumped together. So they grew up doing a lot of stuff together. Then I came tagging along, and didn't really like. I'm in elementary school and they're off in college. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the age difference right there is like you kind of know that like
evident.
Exactly.
12 years, yeah, for sure.
Right. So some would say I was probably spoiled a little bit. No, I don't think so. But no, growing up, I had an amazing childhood. Like, I loved my childhood. Like, I always say, like, if I could go back in time, like, take me back to when I was, like, between 8 and 10 years old. Okay. Like, I just loved my childhood. Mm-hmm. Our family grew up knowing about the Lord all the time. But what's so funny is we weren't, like, made to go to church, like, every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, I knew who Jesus was. I loved him and everything. I knew I was going to be saved eventually. But I was like, we're not really going to church all the time.
Okay,
like,
for sure.
And I'll tell people this, too. I'm like, we didn't even, this probably going to sound crazy. I have never gone to church on, like, Christmas or, like, New Year's Eve. You know what I'm saying? Unless I was, like, maybe a toddler and I don't remember, but it was just never made, like, to be super important, I guess. I don't know. But we were very close-knit, both parents in the home. Yeah. And, also, I think about when I was a kid, like, we didn't, I'm very glad we didn't have, like, social media back in the day because I would be able to compare stuff. But, like, I thought about it. I'm like, we never really like went on family vacations. You feel me? Like, we didn't grow up with a silver spoon in our mouth, but it wasn't a plastic one either. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So it's like, I didn't know. We didn't do much. Like, we didn't go out to eat. We didn't go on vacations. But I didn't care because I'm a kid. Like, I just knew what I did have, and I loved my life. And I always say, like, the first 11 months, we didn't do much. But that 12th month, Christmas time came around. Man, listen, I love me my Christmas. It's like, I will still text my siblings in our group chat, like, do you remember this back in the day? Like, the 90s, early 2000s Christmases were top tier.
It's so crazy because even though, what you say, you've been in Michigan for 3 years?
Yep, going on 3 years, yeah.
Man, I still, when I hear you got that Ohio accent, man, it's crazy work. You feel me? Like, what the heck?
What?
I just hear it, like, what? Like, maybe because, I mean,
I've
like,
heard that.
dog, like, Gramir, she grew up in Ohio, but then I don't, maybe because I hear her talk so much, but when I hear you, I'm like, all I hear is that Ohio accent. I'm like, bro,
Can you give me an example?
I don't know. It's just, you got to hear it to know. You know what I'm saying?
So it's so funny. My mom, they always say, like, my mom and, like, the first cousins, they all have, like, a accent, like, obviously they're from Ohio, but, like, she'll get all the time, like, are you from, like, the South? Not like she has a Southern accent, but it's like that little twang of, like, we drag our words out, she says. And so I'm like, oh, my goodness. I've never heard I've heard I've had, like, a Valley Girl accent, or, like, I'm kind of dingy. But, like, now I'm about to be curious, like, what I talk like?
So, like, how was it, like, what's the difference you say between Ohio and here? Like, I do consider Ohio, like, down south, even though it's only a couple hours from here, but it give me that down south vibe.
Really?
For sure. It's slower.
Really? No, I'm joking. I don't. So look. So if being here, if I close my eyes, I feel like I'm in Ohio.
Okay.
I really do. I just don't. I think because to me it's just all Midwest. So like I just don't feel like. I don't know. I feel like it's the same. Now, granted, I hardly get out.
Okay.
much,
Okay.
But when I do, I feel like, when I do hit the stores or something, I'm like, this is kind of like Ohio. Like, I feel like if I moved to California or New York, I'd be like, oh, this is different. But I feel like we just kind of the same.
Okay, so what was your high school years like? What you was doing in high school? Because I know when I used to see you on, like, when I used to see you on the internet, you was giving me, like, model vibes.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like,
no.
You're going to Chelsea doing a 1-2 thing. You feel me? Cuz got the Hillies on.
I've had 2 kids, and that went away real quick, no. No, so it's funny you say that. So a while ago, I asked my 2 best friends. I've been my best friends for, like, 20-plus years. I asked them, I'm like, what? Because we were just talking about high school, actually. Like, what vibe did I give off? And so they told me that I was very girly, like I would polish my nails, like, a different color every single day. We had uniforms, like, 10th grade to 12th grade. So that already is, like, you can't get no high school kids uniforms. Like, you can't really show your individuality. But for me, like, I, like, would change my hair color all the time or, like, try to do something different, wear, like, gaudy jewelry and stuff like that. And my friend told me, she was like, I just remember, Chelsea, like, what I admired about you is you just didn't give a beep, like, what people thought about you.
Okay.
And I never looked at it that way, but I really didn't. Like, I had all black friends, but, like, I'm listening to, like, Jonas Brothers and, like, Hannah Montana, and I, like, secretly wanted to be a rock star. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't care what people thought about me, but I remember I would wear, like, a purity ring in high school. Jesus. And so my other friend told me, she was like, yeah, you know what? Also, you wasn't no punk. She was like, you didn't take no mess from nobody. I'm like, yeah, that's true too. Like, on the outside, you wouldn't think that, but, like, I really didn't take no mess from nobody, and I didn't care what people thought about me. But high school was fun. I almost didn't graduate high school.
You remind me of me,
baby. I almost didn't graduate. So look, 9th grade, 9th, 10th, 11th, that was cool. Something happened my senior year that I was just like, I just do not rock with studying. Like, I hated to study. I would, like, fold under pressure when it came to taking tests, and, like, calculus and chemistry almost did me in.
Okay.
They were like, yeah, you got to pass or you're not going to graduate. Still to this day, I don't think I actually passed. I think they just knew I was, like, a good kid, so it was like, let's pass you. But, yeah, no, high school, other than the academic part, socially, I loved school, but I was very sheltered. So, like, my mom didn't play them games. She didn't let me do nothing. Like, I didn't do nothing. So, like, even the simple fact of, like, me not almost graduating and all that, you would think, like, I had other stuff going on or, like, I was busy partying. No, I just didn't rock with school. Like,
so it was one of things, like, go to school, go home. Go to school, go home.
Absolutely. And I didn't drive. Like, I didn't drive till I was out of school at 18. So, like, my friends would do all the driving, and my mom, obviously, my mom was one of them type of moms, one of them type of black moms, that was like, I'm not driving you nowhere. Either you get your friend to take you, or you ain't going. Or, like, if I want to stay the night somewhere at my friend's house, we don't do them sleepovers, especially at that age, especially because we wasn't about to sleep over in nobody's house. You know what I'm saying? We about to be out kicking it. So, my mom wasn't dumb, that's for sure.
So, what about, like, school dances, homecoming, prom, all that type of stuff?
Yeah, so my mom was the type of mom that said, if you don't have a date, you're not going. So with me being the type of person I was in high school, very, like, prude, and, like I said, I'm wearing a purity ring. Like, I didn't have a boyfriend in high school.
Wait, what is a purity? Wait, what is a purity ring? I don't know what that is.
A purity ring. Let me educate you real quick. No, it was, so remember I said I like the Jonas Brothers, right?
Okay.
This is so embarrassing. Oh, Jesus. Do you know who the Jonas Brothers
Yeah, I know.
are?
Yeah, I know for sure. Like, yeah.
So they did this thing back in the day where they would wear purity rings, which is basically saying, like, I'm saving myself for marriage.
Oh.
And that was, like, for me to wear on my ring finger, like, basically to ward off guys, like,
you said purity ring.
Yeah.
I thought you said period ring.
Oh, no.
I'm like, bro, what?
Purity.
Purity. Okay. See, that's that Ohio accent that I know. You feel me? But okay. Purity ring.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So, hey, what do you wear? What finger?
Your ring finger.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So that was embarrassing to say the least, but that's what I did. So I didn't have a boyfriend, needless to say, in all of high school. And
What?
Yeah. No, guys liked me and everything, but I just knew, like, I think I was like, I don't want to bring nobody home. I think I brought one person home, but he wasn't my boyfriend.
What about dating?
I went on, like, one date all of high school. Like, I just was not. Yeah, I just. Don't be looking at me like.
That is crazy. So how?
But wait till we get to after high school years. But go ahead.
Do you remember the date?
Yeah.
So how was the day high school?
You know, it was he picked me up, and my dad was like, who's this guy? And I just knew he wasn't, like, my actual boyfriend, so I was like, oh, this is so embarrassing. And so we just went to, like, Sonic and got, like, some ice cream, and then he took me back home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was your peeps like the type that gave you, like, a curfew and was on you? Like, oh,
what?
You know, where you at? Where you going? Who you with?
That was my main struggle, was curfew. That was my curfew, and lack of me following that curfew was, like, got me kicked out of my house multiple times, like, after high school.
Okay.
I think I was so sheltered, like, we'll get to that, but I think I was so sheltered that I was, like, tried to, like, live my life in my early 20s. But to go back to answer your question, prom, I did go to prom. I had a date. He wasn't my boyfriend, but I did have a date. I went to, like, one homecoming. Didn't have a date, but I did go with my friends, so I'm surprised my mom actually let me go to that. But yeah, so we very shocking.
No,
I know.
Sure. That's I mean, I get it.
My parents were just strict, and when I say parents, it was really my mom. My mom was strict.
Maybe I was on the opposite side of the spectrum. I was the turn
You was
up
out.
crew.
You was dipping and doing.
I was outside, not inside. You feel me? If I was inside, that's a punishment.
Really?
Like, you feel
See?
me?
And that's so crazy. So I learned to, like, love being inside. Like, I didn't mind. Like, and the thing is, too, and that's actually what my friend said, too. She was like, you never really did much with us. She was like, but I could tell you just really loved your family. And I was like, yeah, I've always been a family person. I love my family. Immediate, extended, I love my family.
So you was close with your sibs?
Yeah. So, yeah. And I think it helped that, like, we are so far apart in age. Like, we didn't argue, because it's like, what's my 20-year-old brother going to argue with my 10-year-old self? Or, you know what I'm saying? We, even to this day, like, I think I can name, like, one time per each sibling that I've been mad at them.
That's good.
Yeah, like, we're definitely close.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's move to the T. The graduation years, or when you was out of high school.
Yeah.
How was that?
You know.
You got to give me some stories. Like, you know
Oh,
what
for
I'm saying?
sure. So, okay. So, I'm 18, and I get saved.
Okay.
It's funny how after
Back up. So you don't just get saved. So it's like,
I know, right?
What led up to that?
Yeah. So, okay. My brother, the one that's 6 years older than me, Josh, Josh, he had got saved when he was 18 too. So he ended up getting married young and everything, and he would start to have, like, these Bible studies for just our immediate family. And so I was young, about 16, 17 at the time. And so doing these Bible studies, his whole purpose was to like, get me, my cousin Mia, and Jason, like, saved, because we were, like, the last three left that weren't saved yet. See, here's the thing. I think what Josh was doing was, like, using that scare tactic to get us saved, you know? So like all in my head, I'm hearing the last days and the rapture coming.
Hell this.
And you
hell
gonna know
that.
it. Hell,
Yeah.
like, and so I'm just like, oh Jesus. But me and my nerves and my anxiety, I'm like, oh God, like I gotta get saved. But like I said, I'm only 17 at the time. So I remember being at school one time and, senior year, and this was right around the time that like school shootings started to kind of ramp up a little bit, like bomb threats and stuff. And I just remember being in school and like the intercom came on. They're like, "We're on a lockdown, dog." I almost like one time hyperventilate because I'm like, if I die and I'm not saved, like
Okay.
So that was like one instance. I'm like, okay, that was sort of the Lord, pulling my heart or whatever. But it wasn't enough yet. So the maybe 5 times that my mom did let me out during my senior year, obviously, smoking, drinking, doing the thing. And I remember I was out with this guy, not my boyfriend, but just out with this guy and like a bunch of his friends. So I'm like the only girl, not thinking it, red flag now, but I'm not thinking nothing of it. And I'm just sitting there and we're smoking and I'm like, my heart starts beating. I'm in a rocking chair and I'm like, this is really crazy.
Okay.
So, and I felt so like, what is the word I'm looking for? I felt just so helpless because I'm like, I can't tell them that I'm about to pass out or I feel like I'm about to pass out. And then have you ever seen the movie American History X?
Yeah.
That movie's playing. That little racist movie's playing.
Yeah.
I'm around like a bunch of white guys and I'm like, I'm just so paranoid. So that was a time too that I'm just like, you know what, Chelsea, like stop playing these games. But even that, I don't know that was really what pulled me to get saved because even after getting saved, I still was smoking and drinking, right? Okay. So I think it was just me knowing, like, I don't want to die. Like, I always had a fear of dying. So I'm like, I don't want to die, and I'm going to hell, Mm-hmm. So I get saved at 18. Jesus. You want to ask a question before you get to
No, go ahead. Keep on going to the flow.
So I get saved at 18. Well, let me back up. Ever since I was, like, 12, I always wanted to be famous, right?
Okay.
I always wanted to be famous.
So don't matter what, just want to be famous? No
I wanted to be an actress, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know those little commercials and ads that they would have on the radio, like, you want to be famous, you want to be the next, like, Disney and Nickelodeon star, come to this. So picture I'm, like, young like this, and my dad's taking me to these auditions. They're scams. Heads up, they're scams. And they're like, yeah, you're really good, but you have to pay all this money to go to, like, LA. So we're like, whatever. But I think I just like the fact of knowing, like, I did this, and I'm thinking I'm hot stuff. Yeah. So keep this in mind. I'm young, wanting to be famous. So now I hit 18. I'm out of school, and I didn't go to college because, like I said, I'm not into school like that at all. I didn't have any desire to go to college. But all my friends were in college. So I'm, like, kind of alone, and I'm like, well, what am I going to do? So I was working, and I ended up using, like, my money to go to a modeling and acting school. And I was like, Mom and Dad, like, I'll just use my money for that. That's, like, my idea of college, whatever. So I'm doing that, and this is gonna all come together in a second. So I'm doing that at 18, but I'm saved because I got saved like the week after my birthday, my 18th birthday. So which is in August. So what started off, I think my downhill spiral is that I started to have a lot of like selfish ambition, right?
Okay.
So even though I'm saved, in my first 2 years, I was really on fire for the Lord, right? Like I'm not smoking, not drinking, I'm not doing nothing. I'm like...
That's everybody, though.
Right. You're on fire because you're like,
sure.
yeah.
You know.
So, exactly. And so I lost a lot of friends because I'm like, but I was like the wrong type of saved. Like yeah, you're not saved, Jay, you're going to hell. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Judgmental in a way.
Exactly. Like a true like Pharisee. Like I don't smoke, I don't drink, I'm, saving myself for marriage. Like I'm perfect. Like wrong type of way to be.
I get it.
Not relatable at all. So, like I said, so that was all good. I'm on fire for the Lord. But at the same time, I'm like, but I want to be famous. So, like you said, you start seeing my pictures and stuff online. That's when I tried to start like a modeling career, right? So, Jesus. I'm what I like to call Columbus famous, right?
Okay.
Where, obviously, I'm not in no LA, I'm not in no New York, but we had this thing in Columbus, which other than New York Fashion Week, Columbus Fashion Week is like the biggest thing, fashion show in the Midwest. So I was a part of that for a few years, and already I'm like I said, just going down the spiral of like vanity and like kind of slowly moving away from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like not even thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm saved, yeah, but I'm still gonna have fun because you got to remember, I was so sheltered. So now I got my license. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm driving. I'm out here, and I was really out here for real. So yeah, so I ended up finally getting my first boyfriend. So at like 20. And you know, boyfriend and girlfriends do, you feel me? So
Yeah.
that whole purity ring thing kind of went out the window.
Boom.
Exactly. I said purity.
Crazy
Who?
work. I feel you. I feel you.
So yeah, and that's when like I said, when you're not doing what God wants you to do, you start just, you know, backsliding more and more and getting deeper in the trenches, and then yeah, things happen.
Okay. So
I feel like I'm running my mouth.
no, you good. So like, what was some of the things that you was like? What was some of the first things you did from being sheltered to being outside? You're like, dang, I didn't know it was like this.
Yeah. So my senior year, I did, like I said, my mom let me go out maybe like 5 times, and I did smoke and drink. So I knew like, I was doing that. But once I hit like just say 21, I remember this one time specifically, I was out with my guy friend who's gay, because in the modeling world and fashion industry, there's a lot of like, you know, gay guys and everything. So he was a really good friend. And you know, Four Locos? That'll get you drunk real quick, the cheapest liquor.
I knew about the 5 o'clock. When I was coming, it was 5 o'clock.
I've never heard of that.
Man,
We are not that far apart in age.
I'm 35, man.
I'm 32. I never know.
Man, that 5 o'clock, man, I think that 5 o'clock about $5, bro. I'm talking about
It had you
ancient.
out till
Had
5
me in the blender. It tastes like unleaded.
Really?
Gasoline, bro, for sure.
I've never heard of that. So what kind of can was it in?
Man,
was
I
it
don't even remember. I
bottle
just
or-
know when you drunk that, it put hairs on your chest. Right?
Really?
A man or a woman, like you was turned up to the max. I think I seen the Joker turn to Incredible Hulk off that stuff, bro. I'm like, whoa, wait a second, my brother. It ain't even that serious.
Right.
Jesus saves, Jesus saves, Jesus saves. Straight up.
Oh my God! They don't sell that no more, do they?
No,
Exactly.
man. I think
you
it
was the
was-
reason why they said, "Nah, this nigga."
Man, I think it was back when they was what was that stuff called? Man, shout out to my homie Herm. He used to drink old Irish English Rose, bro.
Oh,
40s. I would think, do they make them still?
I think so. I was gonna say,
Okay,
now I've
okay,
heard that. I've seen
okay.
that. Man, listen. So look, Four Locos, like my 5 o'clock basically. So it's in a big old can, it's like a Monster in liquor form.
Okay.
So I'm already a lightweight, don't drink it all. I guzzle this thing, like down it. We make it to where we were going, which was like the bar area, trying to bar hop, and I don't remember anything from that night at all. I'm like, yeah, I don't even know what's going on. So we get back to the car. Obviously, I can't drive because we took the freeway to get there. I just remember just puking out the side of my car, like, oh my God, like, what am I doing? So
Blew out records.
Yeah. So we get back to his spot. Now, I mentioned the fact that he was gay for a reason, because I still live at home with my mom, and I just knew, even in my drunken stupor, I'm like, I need to get home because my mom gonna be pissed. So he was like, Chelsea, you can't, like, you have to stay here. I'm like, I'm not calling my mom to say, hey, I'm drunk. I'm staying with my gay guy friend.
For sure.
She'd be like, you ain't staying with no gay, like, he's probably your boyfriend.
Yeah,
You know, being fast, whatever. So I'm like, oh, geez. So I drive home drunk, like blackout drunk. And I told myself, like, so I'm driving. I don't remember, obviously by the grace of God, but like, I don't remember anything about getting home. And I remember getting home and just falling out on my bathroom floor and just laying there. My mom, crazy how I remember this part, but she came in the door, knew I was drunk, and just started singing, just being annoying. Like humming and just being so irritating. I'm like, Mom, if you don't get out, but purposely being annoying. So, you know, obviously I wake up hungover, but that Sunday was my niece's, like, baptism. Like, she was getting prayed for, and I was like, and I already told my brother I was going to be there for her. I'm driving to church puking in my car.
Oh, wow.
I'm sitting in church hungover, and I'm saved. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just everything about it. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, just, you know how you think about, like, I ain't never drinking again.
Yeah,
you know that feeling.
For sure.
But not even just that. I'm like, how ridiculous. I'm in church hungover right now. Like, who am I right now?
At least you went. So people don't tell you
No.
that. At least you went. Yeah, you feel me?
I did show up for my niece, though. At
For
least I
sure.
did go. You right.
At least you went. I'd be like, I ain't going
Right,
today.
right. Oh. But you know what? I think what it is like, I always respect my brother, the one that Josh, one that's 6 years older than me. Like, I respect all my siblings, but like Josh, for some reason, like I'm super close with him, and I just never wanted him to like look at me like be ashamed of me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you ain't about to know. Even though my mom got a big mouth, she probably told him the day of whatever. But I'm like, yeah, I don't want him to think nothing of me. So let me just push through and just make it home. But after that, I was like, I'm not getting that drunk again. Actually, after that, I didn't have drink, but I've not gotten drunk.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, I think what hurt me the most is like my dumb self could have killed somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing. That's what I hate the most about like drunk drivers. It's like you kill somebody else because you're drunk. Like, I hate that. So
And they the ones don't be down. It's the other people.
exactly.
For sure,
And so
I get it.
from that moment, I was like, yeah, Chelsea, we're not doing this no more. We're not. Yeah.
So like, kind of moving forward, like where did you start coming up here? Because I don't remember seeing you, like, I think with me, I remember you used to be around when CJ used to be around, but I don't even know when that was. I don't know. My memory kind of.
So, yeah.
Like, who brought you up here?
So my first time staying up here, it was Steph because y'all lived together.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
I
I'll
remember
come.
that.
Now you remember.
Oh,
See?
that is crazy
Family
work.
be, man.
We,
You don't remember me coming to stay?
No, I remember you stay on
Nice
school
talking,
crash.
no,
No, I remember that.
Uh-huh. No, yeah, I did.
You
I
did come
I stayed
over there.
I did.
I remember
and that was
that.
my first time staying the night here with family.
Are
Yeah.
you serious?
Yep.
So the first time you stay at my crib?
I did.
Oh, shoot,
Don't
that is
remember.
crazy.
Wow, B.
And we was living
I
in the
thought
hood,
we
too.
I know.
That is
and I remember y'all
crazy.
told me that, and I had just got my new car like the year before, and I was trying to sound like I'm with it. Like, yeah, I don't
Oh
care.
yeah, no, you were straight over there. We was.
Yeah, I
we
know I
good
was
over
straight,
there.
but I get there, I'm like, I'm in the.
Yeah, no, we was good.
Mama,
We was
like,
good
hold
over-
it down because
yeah.
I'm sitting
No,
here
we
like,
was
oh,
good
Jesus.
over there.
Yeah, so
We was straight over there. You feel me?
and it was a fun time. So look, honestly, you're kind of the reason why I'm married.
Who, me?
I met my husband that weekend.
Oh,
Your
shoot.
husband.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You feel me? Because then, you moved away from your family. I know that had to be tough.
That was more than tough, man. That was, oh, Jesus. That was very hard because I'm very close to my family, like I said. So, and I've never had my own spot. Like, I've always lived with my parents. So, to go from that to now, I'm growing up, even though I was 29 when I moved. I'm like, dang, like, I don't. And then I moved away when I was pregnant.
Okay.
So that made it even worse. Like, pregnancy hormones mixed with the fact that I'm not with my family, mixed with I'm now about to get married. Like, it was a lot.
Okay, so like when you came here for the first time, see, like you gotta fill me in.
Okay,
because,
okay.
Like, who was like, I don't remember that. Who was you
can't
hanging with? Was you
believe it.
like you?
So look, you and Steph, okay, so I really rocked with you a lot because you would always come down to our family reunions,
Okay.
right? And so I always used to like love the fact that I had family in other states, whether it was my dad's side, like Georgia and Alabama, whatever, and then of course my mom's side, you guys in Michigan. And so I used to just love when y'all would come down because I'm like, family, Michigan, from Michigan. So you would, like I said, you and your siblings would come down a lot, and I was like, cool, like, you're just cool people. And then the one year, I think it was like for in Charlotte's one of her birthdays, and like everybody had came down.
Okay.
And I think that's when I started to get cool with like Steph and CJ and them. And we just kind of kept in touch, communicating text wise. And so, like I said, I think a couple years have passed, and Steph texts like, Ohio family, basic clowning, trying to call me on my bluff, like, Ohio family don't ever visit us. I'm like, don't be lumping me with everybody. Like, I'll come, like, whatever. So I came.
Okay.
I came there, and yeah, like I said, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the weekend.
With me getting older, the only thing that keeps me away from Ohio is the police. Y'all police is terrible.
Honestly, no, I agree. But y'all will never be coming
Man,
to Ohio.
they
We
be-
ain't gonna get on that, whatever.
If
Y'all don't come
when
to
you be
Ohio.
on that 75, bro, they be like follow you the whole
out.
ride. Soon
I
as
got
you
like
cross
2
the-
tickets. When me and Theo used to go back and forth to visit each other, I got like at least 2 tickets coming from here to Ohio. I'm like,
See.
like what?
So like when the first time you came, would you like coming right after that, or like how often would you coming after that? Did you like vibe with it here? Like, dang, I do like it here.
No. It wasn't like that at all. I think I just, like I said, so that it was the weekend, and that Saturday I'd end up meeting, like I said, my now husband. And even then I was like even meeting him, I was like, yeah, I like him and everything, but I definitely wasn't planning on like, this is my future boyfriend,
Yeah,
so
for
we're going to
sure.
be traveling back and forth. I think after that, I was probably honestly cool. At that point, I'm like, I proved my point. I visited y'all. Like, now I'm cool staying in Ohio. But-
Okay.
And nothing wrong with Michigan at all. But
Okay, yeah, I
you
feel
know.
you. I feel you. Oh yeah, this is the backyard. So like, all right, now let's talk about like you met your husband. How was that? Because nobody don't know you. Like your husband not what everybody would suggest. You feel me? He like to
What you mean? Like,
He's
I don't know what you
no,
mean.
Theo is solid for sure. Like that's my guy.
Yeah.
But he's not one of us. You feel me?
I don't know what that means. No, I'm joking. No, yes. He's white, everyone. He's white. White boy.
But Theo solid though. He cool as heck.
Yeah, no, he is.
You know what I'm
and the
saying?
reason why I think I vibed with him so much at first is because, so picture this. So, like I said, I'm with y'all that weekend. We end up driving to Saginaw. And I'm there thinking it's just about to be some like little kickback, whatever. Well, I see, again, I'm in a predicament where I'm the only girl there. And I'm just like, oh, this is kind of awkward. But I was like, I'm gonna rock with it, whatever. And like I said, I see him. We're talking, vibing. I'm like, oh, like, so how do you know? Because we went there for Chad and CJ or whatever.
Okay.
Like, how do you know them? He's like, oh, they're my cousins. I'm like, what you mean? Like, they're my cousins. What are you talking about? So, you know, obviously his aunt married your uncle.
Everybody, they on his mother's side.
Exactly.
So ain't no kissing cousins over here.
Exactly.
You feel? This is
right.
Other side.
You know how many times I had to explain that so awkwardly
Yeah,
to people? Like, no. Yeah. So I'm like, wow, like, no, they're my second cousins. So right away, I'm like, okay, even though he's white, like, he down with black folks. You know what I mean? He's been around black people. And that's kind of one thing sorry to be blunt, but that's what you got to look for. Like, I ain't trying to be with nobody that don't know about the culture a little bit, you know? So, yeah. So like I said, from that day, we just kind of clicked or whatever. And then I found out he was 6 years younger than me. So I was
Yeah, he's 6 years younger than you?
don't do that.
Chelsea, wait,
Don't
first of all,
do
back
that.
up.
Don't do
I didn't know that you was 32 though.
I know.
Dang,
I'm
that
old
is
now,
crazy.
What? What's that mean?
I thought you was like 26.
I mean, I get it a lot. But here's the thing. It's because I look at her because I acted. Because, I mean.
No, I don't know. Like maybe, well.
I think I act goofy. Like, I get it.
No, I don't even think with me, I'm so out of tune with how old people
Ages.
are
I know. No,
in
seriously.
Columbus, though. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah.
Because I didn't, like, we was close, but it's like after the family reunion,
Exactly.
it was none of that.
And y'all have so many cousins that y'all all so close in age. Like, yeah.
See, I can gauge it here. Like, I think he
Right.
between 40, 45, but then you hit 32, I'm thinking like, dang, you Lauren age.
I'm Alicia's age.
No, you Lauren age.
Alicia, Lauren. I'm Alicia's age.
Alicia is, no, you're right.
How I know your
You're right.
siblings better.
Dang. I don't even know.
And me and Alicia
What type of brother
are
am
2
I?
days apart.
Okay.
And that's how I think that's why I really know, because our birthdays are 2 days apart.
I be forgetting how old I am.
No, after 30, swear, I do too. Theo the other day was just like, I'm 27. I said, you're 26. Like, he was like, no, let's not talk about age anymore.
Okay.
Like, we're married. We don't have to talk
For sure.
about age.
Let
No,
the
not
past
you.
be
I'm
past.
saying
No, I
like,
get it.
yeah.
For sure.
I'm like, listen.
So when you met him, was it like an instant vibe, or did he have to like grow on you?
That night was an instant vibe because it was just like he was the only person that I really wanted to talk to that night.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, funny enough, I'm like, I think the fact that he was 6 years younger than me started really messing with me. I'm like, oh, like, is that, you know what I mean? Like, does he act immature or whatever? He didn't. Well, he kind of did at first. I will say that. He's gonna watch this. Like, no, I wasn't. He was kind of immature at first. And so at first I was like, can I do this? And the fact that he lives in Michigan, like, what are you doing, Chelsea? But I mean, so get this. So the night we had our first little date or whatever. This is so embarrassing. We met up because, you know, the meeting spot is like Toledo.
Okay.
So we met up at the casino, like the whatever casino that was. Couldn't go in. He was only 20.
Oh, shoot.
I'm like, oh my God. I think that was almost like a turn off right there. I'm like, oh God. So we had such a fun time. We got pizza, like we went to a drive-in movie. It was a cool little vibe. But that night I'm coming back home and I'm a trash driver. So I'm on the freeway and I was about to miss my exit and I hit a bump in the freeway. I had about an hour left to go home. My whole oil pan was just like, it was leaking everywhere by the time I got home. Yeah. So I ended up telling him, and I was like, it's a sign. We're not supposed to be together. Like, I don't think, whatever. He ends up paying for like half of it to get fixed. I'm like, maybe we are together. It was
A gentleman. Huh?
Exactly.
Okay.
Listen, this is embarrassing too. He was the first guy that I was ever with that held the car door open for me.
Okay, that's good.
No, that's ridiculous.
I mean, that's good.
I'm 26 years old. No, ain't no boy ever held a car. The bar was in hell.
It's some savages out here right now.
I know. Oh, really? See, I'm glad
There's some
I'm
savages
not.
out there. But I'm not saying that it's bad, or yeah, I am saying it's bad. But you got some women that's bad too.
No, for sure.
You feel
Oh
me?
my gosh, yeah. I feel bad for single guys too, because I mean, I blame, man, that's a whole nother conversation. I blame music. I blame entertainment, the entertainment industry. I just,
I don't know.
It's-
I mean,
it's-
all that too, but I even look at background.
Oh, yeah, for sure, how you were raised up and
For
stuff.
sure.
Definitely.
I think that play a lot of people just disregard that.
Exactly. And I was raised right. I'm a good one.
I can tell. So like, all right, how was it? How long were y'all dating?
We dated, Jesus, I want to say 3 years. 3 years before I got pregnant.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you was traveling back and forth?
So we were traveling 3.5 hours back and forth every other weekend. So get this, like I said, I'm 26. So here's the thing. I can't clown him for his age when I'm 26 still living with my mom. Like, I had never had my own place ever. But I was milking that. Like, I ain't care. Like,
Oh,
whatever.
I mean, you was a woman. I think for women, it's you stay home, you get married.
But when you start getting a boyfriend that you're serious about, it's like, my parents were still like, I'll get to that. So wait. So we're traveling back and forth. He's still living with his mom. And so the first few times seeing each other, we had to get hotels because it's like, my black parents ain't about to let this boy stay at the house.
For sure.
So yeah, so we were doing that for a while, a lot of money spent. And then my mom was like, listen, if you're going to keep doing this, because she liked Theo and everything, she was like, you're going to have to get out the house. Like, you're coming in and out. We know y'all sleeping together.
Yeah.
Like, she felt like it was a disrespect kind of a thing, which I get, whatever. So here's the perk about having older siblings. So my sister had her own place, and she let me stay with her.
Okay.
So this helped because, when I started going there, his parents are divorced, so he stayed with his mom. So she was nice enough that she would let me stay there, so we didn't have to pay for no hotels. So then when Theo would come to Ohio, he would stay with me and my sister. So I thank my sister and his mom, because honestly, if they never let us stay at each other's houses, I feel like we might not be together, because we didn't have money to keep paying for no $400 a night hotel. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So I don't know how that would have worked, but yeah, that was a blessing. So yeah, 3 years in, and I ended up getting pregnant.
So, did you know after that? Did you want to get married because you got a kid, or did you want to get married because it's like, oh, we love each other, it's time to get married?
All of the above. So number one, I was kind of pressuring, because I was like, I'm not about to keep driving back and forth. Here's the thing: when you travel on the weekends, you're only spending like one full day together, because we get off of work at 5, you come to Michigan or Ohio by like 8 o'clock. We watch the movie, we going to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Next day you get all day together, and then Sunday, half a day you got to travel back for work. So it was like we're barely even seeing each other. So at that point I'm like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So I will say that was kind of a pressure that I shouldn't have did. But I'm like, what are we doing? He's like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, you're not moving fast enough. So, but obviously, because we loved each other, obviously we wanted to get married. But I don't know. Had I not got pregnant when I did, I don't know if by now I feel like we would have been married, but maybe not that soon. Maybe not at that 3-4 year mark. I don't know.
Was it a shocker when you got pregnant?
No. We knew what he was doing.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying, like, but normally,
saying.
I mean, you know what you're doing, but was it kind of like planned type kick, or was it kind of like?
So this was my first time being pregnant.
Okay.
I had a miscarriage when I was 24.
Okay.
23. I was about to turn 24. Which she knew about and everything. But yeah, so I think from that moment, I feel like, I won't say all women, but for me personally, the Lord knew my heart. Like, I've always wanted to have kids, always wanted to have a family, like, I always wanted to be married. I'm just a hopeless romantic in that way. So after I did have my miscarriage, although it was like at that point, maybe like 4 or 5 years prior, it was still like, it still hurt a little bit, because it's like, it's a sucky thing. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. So when I did get pregnant, I'm like, and this was somebody that I really love. So, you know what I mean? So I wasn't shocked, and I wasn't surprised, and I wasn't upset. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of like happy about it. I wasn't married. So that was the only thing I didn't like about it. It's like, dang, like, baby, I wedlock, but but he wasn't surprised, but I think he was still like, oh, shoot. Like, now I gotta
go in daddy mode.
Exactly. Yeah. And he did. Like, he really stepped up. Like,
I was telling the folks.
So, because they had known Theo now for about 3 years, they, like I said, my parents, Theo can do no wrong in their eyes, okay? When I tell you my mom and dad love them from Theo, like, it's almost annoying. Like, I could tell them, this man just punched me. They'd be like, what'd you do? You know, like,
yeah, I feel you.
dang.
Yeah.
So they love him. So they weren't, they weren't upset. I think their mind it just instantly went to, so what you gonna do? As far as like you're staying with your sister, but are you gonna move to Michigan? Like, is he gonna move here? Like, what's gonna happen? So little did they know, like we had been talking, and Theo was like, oh, yeah, like I'm not about to be apart from my baby, like, cause I was like, I'm gonna stay here. If you ain't getting no place, like I'm gonna just stay here. So I told my mom one day. I remember when I was pregnant. So to answer your question, they weren't upset. They were just more or less like, well, what you gonna do now, Moses? You feel me? So. Yeah, I remember telling my mom one day, I was like, Mom, like, you know, I'm about to move to Michigan. Like, Theo's looking for a house as we speak. She laughed. She was like, yeah, right. Like, he ain't about to get no place that fast. Like, you gonna be here. He got a place, like, at least 5 months later.
She was shocked. Like you.
Yeah, she was very shocked. And, because me and my mom are interesting. My mom is my best friend, for real. But if we're around each other too long, we go at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like she gonna take something I say out of context. I've always been known to have kind of a smart mouth, and she always kind of gets offended by it. So we around each other too long. It's a mess. But she really is my best friend. I think she was really hurt. Like, oh crap, like Chelsea moving away, my grandbaby, you know. So because all her grandkids are, I think it's different when your son has a kid because it's like it's not your blood child or your blood daughter having a child. You know what I'm saying? So with her, you know, me being her only daughter having a baby, it was like, oh, now you're going away. So it was, cried every day. We cried all the time.
Home away from home.
Man.
So like going into kids, like how was that? How was that a change for you?
It was a change because, like I said, I cried every day. Like I'm not even exact. I cried every day because I didn't have my immediate family around me. My mom, after I had my oldest daughter, she stayed with us for like 2 weeks, I want to say, 2 or 3 weeks. And I just remember crying, and then just my emotions were everywhere. But I felt bad. I started to feel bad because I'm like, dang, like it's almost coming off as like I'm ungrateful to Theo. Like, here I am, like I done got this house for us. Like, I'm doing everything I can. I allowed you to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, and I'm just crying because I miss my mom. Like, Chelsea, grow up. You know what I'm saying? I had to snap out of it. It took a while, but I had to snap out of it. Now, mind you, we had our baby, but we weren't married yet. We had got engaged. We got engaged, and then we got married when our baby was 3 months old. Okay. So being married and then stepping into like I said, we already lived together, but then stepping into like now we had this baby, and then it was an adjustment for both of us. Like I said, you still got to remember, Theo's still young. I'm a new mom. He's a new dad, and now he's got all this responsibility of a house payment from just living with his mom. So like. I had to take into consideration even just his feelings with stuff like, you know, it's hard for him too. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
So
I respect that out of you to even say that because you see a lot of time, I see a lot of women that don't look at it in the male perspective.
Listen, at first I didn't. Like in the moment, no, but as time, I think what it was, I think my mom ended up talking to me like, Chelsea, we got to stop crying. Theo is doing everything he can as a man to do what he got to do. And I'm like,
man, shout out to the seasoned women. Man, I love y'all, bro. Like, I love seasoned women. You feel me?
No,
y'all be knowing.
Yeah. Oh, we want to tell you about your Aunt Sil. She basically was pushing me to move to Michigan because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, do I move? Like, I was just hurt. Like, I'm really moving away from my family. And she was like, if you don't move with that boy, like, he is. I mean, they were just team Theo from the beginning. So, yeah.
That's good. I really like to hear, like, it seemed like a lot of older women that's been through life, they will give you game that's, you feel me?
Absolutely.
Because we think about today, what's going on today, how we feel today, but we don't think about long term. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But a lot of the people that's been around and seen stuff, they know what's up.
Listen, if you're blessed and fortunate enough to have an elder in your life, your grandmother, your grandfather, listen to their words of wisdom. Now, me, I can honestly say, like, I ain't always want to hear it. Like, it would get on my nerves, but they really know what they're talking about. They've literally been through life. They've been through divorces, separations, infidelities, and stuff like that. And it's like, they know a little something. So
the ones with sense. I talk
Right,
about the
that
ones that be telling people some crazy stuff. Like, whoa, wait a second.
like,
where you get
you
that
better
from?
leave him alone.
Yeah, where you get that from? He doing everything, but leave him alone. Like, bro, what? I would
Like,
be
don't-
broke.
Thank you. And that's what my mom was saying too. She was like, if you are blessed enough to, start a family and stuff like that, like she said to me, she was like, my prayer was for you and Courtney, my sister, to have husbands and, you know what I'm saying, and families so that you don't want to, not to be like morbid, but you don't want to die alone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure,
that's not, that wasn't her prayer. So, so actually was saying that my sister married, ironically enough, a guy from Michigan.
Man,
so
I heard that too. Another one. I'm thinking like, dang.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she been here too.
She was here after me, like maybe a few months after me. She moved here.
Do y'all get a chance to link every now and then?
Every now and then, she's a teacher. Shout out. I don't even know what school she teach out, child.
What
Sorry,
type of
Courtney.
sister
Sorry.
are you?
I don't, because she just switched jobs. In my defense, she just switched schools, but she does teach in Detroit. Shout out Detroit City Public Schools.
That is crazy. Courtney I haven't seen her not one time.
I know.
And I be in the city.
So that, listen.
I'm a city nigga for sure. Like, I'm one of them.
You be out here still.
You feel me? I'm like a low key outside nigga. You feel me? Like I do.
I don't know what that means.
When I say low key, I go to restaurants in the city.
Okay.
I go to the malls in the city. I live in the city. Yeah. You feel me? I don't be off to the
She
wild
kind of be.
stuff.
I'm telling you, Courtney be to herself too. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
And the fact that she works around kids all the time, it's like I'll see her when I see her because she knows I got kids. And it's like she be tired. You know what I'm saying? So I don't hold that against her. Like, hey, we see each other.
Man, Courtney, man, link up with us, man. You feel me? We need to have lunch, dinner, coffee, something. We family at the end of the day.
Listen, I don't even be out, but I got an excuse. I got 2 kids.
Man,
that's my excuse for everything. I got 2 kids.
Man, my sister got 4 kids. She be
out.
Man, out. She out right now. I just off the phone with her. Like, dang, girl, where your kids at?
I
At
be
my
tired.
house.
I need to take some vitamins. That's what I'm gonna say. I gotta do something. But here's the thing. Her kids, they're not grown, but they're old enough to. They're potty trained.
Oh, I give you
they
that.
Be walking and stuff.
I give you that.
I got until my oldest turns 3. I got 2 under 2. Okay.
I give you that. I do.
So listen, I got designer bags under my eyes right now, child. But go ahead.
So for you, what's two of the best things for you with marriage?
I love the fact that he's really my best friend. Like I like not being alone. I like not being lonely. I like my alone time, but I like just knowing that he's always going to come home, and he's just there for me. I also like the fact that I grew up really not having to ever fend for myself. Like I have my older siblings and my parents that really have always got me out of a rut. I've been very dependent. Yeah, but so like now with him being married, he still like kind of takes that and like. Fixes my cars and stuff. Like if I need that or just everything around the house. Like I barely have to do anything. I know some women watching might be like, you better learn some independence, but it's like I like knowing like you got it, you know?
So what's 2 of the challenges of marriage for you?
I think our challenge for us in particular, I think when we first got married, it was the fact of like communication was hard for us for a while. And you'd think it wouldn't be because I lived with him for like 3 months during COVID because I was actually here staying with him and his mom, and my mom was like, hey, you better stay there. So I was able to stay here. So we knew like we were around each other for a prolonged amount of time, but you would think that we would be used to each other in that sense, but being married is like communication is key. Like when we first got married, it was like, and then on top of that, having a baby, that adds a whole nother, that's a whole nother ball game. So having a baby, my hormones, him working, taking care of the bills, like I said, I had to really understand his point of view and like where he was coming from. We just didn't communicate. Like when I'd get mad at something, it was like, we just be quiet. We just would not talk. Or the exact opposite. And when we did argue, we was
going at it.
Arguing, okay? Like arguing, okay? And then I remember one time my cousin, we were talking, and she was like, talking about like family life, marriage, and stuff like that. And she was like, "Have you anointed your house?" I was like, "Yeah, like I anointed the pillars of my home, like let no harm come to thy dwelling." You feel me? And so she was like, "No, like every room in your house." I was like, "Oh my god, like duh!" Like I felt so stupid in that moment. Like, wow, I really didn't. I kid you not. That after I had got done talking to her, I anointed and prayed over every room in our house. I kid you not. We have not argued to that extent since then.
That's good.
And because I'm talking arguments was bad. I'm saving, I'm cussing you out.
For sure.
I'm talking, we arguing and I'm leaving marks on you, okay? Let's be transparent here, okay?
I tell people, like, you could be in a relationship and stuff be going great. But it's, as soon as you get married, stuff get hard. You're like, man, what the heck?
Exactly. Why? What is that?
Well, I was told, which I believe, that the enemy's after your covenant. You feel me? So
Oh, my
marriage
God.
is a mission.
Exactly.
You feel me? So
Exactly.
when anytime that you on a mission, it's always an attack.
Yeah.
Because when I was in a relationship with my old lady, stuff was gravy. You feel me? It was rainbows and blue skies.
Peaches and cream.
Peaches and
exactly.
cream. And I'm not saying that I've been the best husband, but I'm just saying like
Yeah.
stuff just got tough.
Like, that's crazy. But like you said, that really makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Marriage is a covenant with God, and anytime the enemy can get into that and try to break that up, he gonna try.
For sure.
The
And it
enemy is
seems like
after
as
your
soon as you
family.
said I do, it'd be like, it could be you say I do on a Thursday, you got problems on a Friday. You
Oh,
like,
listen.
what the heck?
The day of our wedding, because we got married like at my church in Ohio, just super simple with immediate family. I was mad my wedding day. Like, I'm carrying a 3-month-old. She breastfeeding and teething probably and just whiny. I was just so annoyed that day. And I'm like, I just got married. I should be super happy. I was sweating. I was hot. And once his forehead starts sweating and glistening, I'm irritated. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, I was just so irritated. And bless his heart. Because shout out my husband. Because he really is like an even-tempered guy. Like, I will admittedly say I'm the one that starts the arguments. I really do. And it's like, Chelsea, get your act together. Because he's not going to just up and argue about nothing. You know what I mean? He could be having the worst day at work even. He'll come home. He instantly steps into dad mode and husband mode. Me, I'm going to let you know if I'm mad. It's like, I need to work on that. But, yeah, that's crazy. But the enemy's after your family. You got to let them know. That's why I anointed every room in the house.
Yeah, fight for your
flee
family.
Flee from me, devil.
Fight for your
Please,
family.
exactly. And your kids. You better, we'll talk about that later. You better pray over them kids.
So we getting closer to the close now. So,
Already? This been fun.
man, so I got a couple questions before we close.
Uh-huh.
All right, my first question is, I always ask anybody, if you were standing in front of Jesus, what's 2 questions you would ask him?
Oh, Jesus. After I got finished bawling my eyes out crying and just worshiping, because,
You look like a crier,
Jesus.
too.
Oh, my God. Am I a crier?
You look like a crier.
I am a crier. Yeah, I just be bawling my eyes out. But I think what I would ask, I know that if you want to know what your purpose in life is, you can pray, you can hear the word, obviously open your word up and everything like that, and you can hear God's voice. But if I was standing face to face with Jesus, first of all, I'd be like, let me take a peek in that book of life. My name up in there.
Okay.
But also just like, Lord, like, I want to see your mouth move and you tell me, like, what is my purpose? Like, what am I supposed to be doing for your kingdom right now in this moment?
Okay.
Because there's so much stuff that I want to do, like, but it's like, is that going to lead people to Christ? Is that going, you know what I mean? Like, I have testimonies that I need to share, and it's like, how do you want me to do it?
Okay.
Because I love to write, and I have a whole book that I'm sitting on. It's like, do I release it? You know what I'm saying? So
I'm telling you, release it. Release it.
it's some deep stuff, B.
Let it fly.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you. So before I ask my next, I'm gonna tell you. So before I started this podcast, I'm not a transparent nigga. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like I'm one of them people to keep it to the
I'm
hip.
so transparent.
You feel
I'm
me?
too transparent.
No,
but
me, that's how I am. Keep it to the
yeah.
hip. You live with it, you die with it.
Yeah.
But when God told me, man, start the podcast, like if you're gonna do the podcast, you have to be honest about who you are.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I'm like, oh, hey. But you know, I'm at the part where I want to be obedient.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got to do it.
I wrote this book in like 2017 about some experiences I went through, and I just let my best friend read it. She was like, Chelsea, if you don't release this book,
Let it fly.
so now you're saying it too.
Let it fly. You don't know how many people you'll help.
I know.
Okay, so my next question is, what would you tell young ladies that's soon to be married and is married with kids about moving forward?
I would say to trust God, number one. Trust God in your marriage, obviously, with your kids. Don't do anything without praying first. Pray over your marriage, over that covenant, pray over your kids. That's one thing I would definitely tell. Because today, this world is crazy, B. I don't know if you know. I think you know. Like, I know we was bad kids, but like this generation of kids, it's almost like they're sinister. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy out here. And I feel like the enemy really wants to attack these kids now. And it's like, if you ain't praying over your kids, man, whew. So I would definitely say that prayer works wonders. And just, you're saying that people that aren't married or like are about to be?
What advice that you would give them that they can take with them and them use?
If you're not married yet, it's like let's say you're dating or something, make sure you have seen your spouse or your future spouse in every emotion that they have. Like,
hey man, I must give. You feel me? Hey, Chelsea, I mean, you be in my head. You be in my head. I say that because when you mad, when you happy, when there's a death, all that.
You gotta know. You gotta know because baby, you don't want to be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
You mad? You throwing stuff. You ain't used to throwing nothing.
Sure.
You know. So definitely know how they are with that, with their emotions. And obviously, I think the main thing is just make sure you're equally yoked. That way, like God is the head of your family. Yeah, like I said, anointing my house was key.
Mm-hmm.
Like that made such a huge difference. Okay. Yeah. Man, there's so much to talk about, V.
So I mean, so close. Like, what's one thing that you could tell the people that you want the people to know about Chelsea?
About me?
About you?
Wow, I am. So we didn't get to talk about it today, but I will say that I have been through quite a bit as far as just different traumas in my life. Miscarriage. We did touch on that a little bit. We didn't touch on this, but sexual assault. And just I want people to know that the person that you see, and even people in your lives, you don't know what they could be going through, what they have gone through, but what matters is how they got through it. And for me personally, like, Jesus has been just my main source of getting through everything. And if you don't have Jesus in your life, please get to know him. Like, time is winding down. You feel me? The enemy knows his time is winding down. He is trying to kill, steal, destroy everybody in his path. But if you are so blessed to just feel God's presence and just know who he is, like, we are the daughters and sons of the one true King. You feel me?
For sure.
Like, it gets me so excited. Mm-hmm. Like back in the day when I went through a dark, place in my life, I was mentally down. You feel me?
For sure.
I had to switch all that up. Like, I had to realize who I am in Christ. I'm a whole princess out here, baby. You can't tell me nothing.
You heard her?
I'll be doggone if I let my head down and my crown fall. You feel me?
For sure.
It's not gonna happen. Like, so I guess what I would just want people to know is, like, God is good. Like, if you don't know Jesus, I have, nieces that I'm just like, you're 17 now. I was 18 when I got saved. Like, yeah, it's gonna be hard along the way. There's gonna be some challenges, but you can get through them all the time with the Lord. You feel me? Like, no amount of drugs, no amount of alcohol. Like, I know we joke about it now, like, man, I was drinking this, I was smoking this. That will never fill the void that you have in your soul. You feel me?
For sure.
Ever. Because can't nobody do you like Jesus.
Sure.
You can smoke all you want, party all you want, pop all the pills you want, whatever your little sinful vice is, it's not going to work. It's not going to fill you up like Jesus can. Mm-hmm. Don't get me to shout on here, baby. No. But seriously, though, all jokes aside, like, man, the Holy Spirit just, woo, baby. Like, once you know who God is, like, it's amazing. Being saved is amazing.
For sure. Yeah.
No, and just know that you have Jesus. Like, I know we close on time.
No,
I'm sorry,
ahead,
y'all. But no, I know my nephew, like, I was, trying to, preach to him a little bit. And he was like, I know, but man, once I get saved, I just feel like that's it. Like, I can't. I'm like, first of all, no. Because clearly, I mean, like, I'm not telling him, like, but you can backslide and then repent. No, I wasn't saying that. But it's just like, don't have that mindset. Once you get saved, you now have, like, just easy access to the Father. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
I know.
So that if you do feel some type of way, like, or whatever you might be going through, you can go to him and just, oh, Jesus.
But what I tell the young people, so I try to be different than what I was taught growing up. Mm-hmm. They didn't keep it a buck with me. They didn't be honest about what's what. You know what I'm saying? So I be, hey, this is what's gonna happen if you do this. I was doing this. Because they didn't tell you what they was doing.
Exactly.
You feel me?
I'll be straight up with you.
Straight up.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. So, and that's the thing, to be relatable to this generation. That's what they need. Relatability. Don't nobody want to know if you're perfect or not. Because we ain't perfect, at all. So let them know. Let them know.
Well, I appreciate Chelsea. And this is the Prodigal Son Podcast. I'm Vince, one of the hosts. We dominating.